You have been living on autopilot, not consciously, not intentionally, but through a slow erosion of attention. Every day you wake up with plans, with ambition, with hunger for something greater. And yet by nightfall, you have given your energy away to things that will never return it. Distractions disguised as productivity, conversations that drain rather than build, scrolling through curated illusions while your own reality crumbles. Machiavelli understood something most men refuse to accept. The world does not reward good intentions. It rewards strategic execution, and execution requires one thing above all else: the ability to focus on yourself without apology, without guilt, without distraction. This is not selfishness. This is survival, because the moment you stop protecting your attention, someone else will claim it. The moment you stop investing in your own empire, you become a laborer in someone else's. And the tragedy is not that you failed. The tragedy is that you were capable all along, but you gave yourself away for free. Right now, comment this: "My focus is my power." Say it out loud, write it down, let it sink into your bones, because everything you are about to hear will only work if you accept this foundational truth. You are not here to please the world. You are here to conquer your corner of it. And conquest begins the moment you stop scattering yourself across 1,000 irrelevant battles and start consolidating your force into one unstoppable direction. Let me tell you what focusing on yourself really means. It is not about ignoring people. It is about ignoring noise. It is not about being cold. It is about being calculated. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince must never remain idle in peaceful times, but must make good use of them so that when fortune changes, he may be prepared to resist her blows. Most people do the opposite. They relax when things are calm. They celebrate too early. They mistake comfort for progress. And when the storm comes, and it always comes, they are obliterated because they were never truly building. They were performing. There is a difference between motion and momentum. Motion is busy. Momentum is directional. You can be in constant motion, attending events, answering messages, chasing trends, and still be going nowhere. Momentum requires ruthless clarity. It requires you to ask yourself every single day, does this action serve my long-term dominance, or does it serve my short-term ego? Most of what you do serves your ego. The need to be seen, to be liked, to be understood. And your ego is expensive. It costs you time, energy, and opportunity. The Machiavellian mind does not feed the ego. It starves it until only purpose remains. Here is what happens when you truly focus on yourself. You stop explaining. You stop defending your choices to people who have no stake in your outcome. When someone questions why you are not available, why you are distant, why you have changed, you do not justify, you smile, you nod, you move on, because explanation is a leak in your power. Every time you explain yourself, you are handing someone else the authority to judge you, and their judgment means nothing. They are not building your empire, they are spectating. Let them watch in confusion while you build in silence. You will begin to notice who actually matters. Most people in your life are accessories. They add nothing. They extract everything. Attention, time, emotional labor. And you allow it because you were taught that loyalty means availability. But loyalty without reciprocity is slavery. Machiavelli warned that men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. People will take as much as you allow. They will guilt you into giving more. They will frame their neediness as your responsibility. Do not fall for it. The moment you realize that most relationships are transactional, you stop being used and start being strategic. You do not cut people off out of bitterness. You simply recalibrate. You give less to those who return nothing. You invest more in those who multiply your energy. This is not cruelty. This is resource management. And your energy is your most valuable resource. Now let us talk about the illusion of balance. Society tells you to balance work and life, ambition and relaxation, discipline and indulgence. This is a trap designed to keep you mediocre. Balance is for people who are afraid to dominate. The truly powerful do not balance. They prioritize with surgical precision. There are seasons for building and seasons for maintaining. Right now, if you are not where you want to be, you are in a building season. And building seasons require imbalance. You must be obsessed. You must be unreasonable. You must say no to comfort, to distraction, to anything that does not directly serve your ascent. People will call you extreme. Let them. Extremism in the pursuit of power is not a vice. It is a necessity. Machiavelli himself lived in exile, wrote in isolation, and created works that outlasted empires. He understood that greatness is not born from moderation. It is born from relentless, focused obsession. When you focus on yourself, you also stop consuming other people's lives. Social media is a weapon of mass distraction. It convinces you that you are connected when in reality you are just watching. You scroll through highlight reels, comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's final cut. And every minute you spend in that illusion is a minute stolen from your reality. The Machiavellian strategist does not consume, he creates. He does not watch, he executes. If you spend more time observing other people's progress than building your own, you are not a player. You are an audience member, and audience members do not win. They applaud while others collect the prize. Delete the apps. Silence the notifications. Reclaim your attention. Because attention is the currency of the modern world, and you have been spending it on things that will never pay dividends. Let me tell you what will happen when you commit to this path. You will lose people. Friends will fade. Invitations will stop. Your phone will go quiet, and it will hurt, because humans are wired for belonging. But belonging to the wrong tribe is worse than walking alone. Machiavelli said it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. But I will take it further. It is better to be misunderstood than to be trapped by the expectations of those who do not understand your vision. The people who leave were never meant to witness your final form. They were chapters, not the conclusion. Let them go without bitterness. Their absence creates space for those who are aligned with your frequency. And when you operate at a higher frequency, you attract higher caliber people, not more people, better people, quality over quantity. Always, here is another truth that will sting. You are your own worst enemy, not your competition, not your circumstances. You, every time you hit the snooze button, you lose. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you lose. Every time you procrastinate, justify, or rationalize, you lose. And the losses accumulate silently until one day you wake up 5 years older with the same problems, the same excuses, the same life. Machiavelli understood that fortune favors the bold, but boldness is not reckless. It is disciplined aggression. It is waking up when your body begs for rest. It is working when your mind begs for distraction. It is executing when your emotions beg for delay. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It is you telling yourself, I am worth the effort, I am worth the sacrifice, I am worth the discomfort. Because the person you are becoming is more important than the person you are right now. Now let us address the guilt. You have been conditioned to feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. Society calls it selfish. Religion calls it sinful. Weak people call it arrogant. But guilt is just a tool used by those who benefit from your compliance. When you feel guilty for saying no, for setting boundaries, for choosing yourself, ask this question. Who benefits from my guilt? Not you, them, the people who want your time without earning it, the systems that want your obedience without offering value. Guilt is a chain, and the Machiavellian mind breaks chains. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your evolution. You do not owe anyone access to your energy. You do not owe anyone a version of yourself that keeps them comfortable. Comfort is their responsibility, not yours. Your responsibility is to become undeniable, and that requires you to be selfish in the most strategic sense of the word. Let me give you a framework. Every decision you make should pass through 3 filters. Does this move me closer to my goal? Does this protect my energy? Does this increase my leverage? If the answer to all 3 is no, the answer to the opportunity is no. It does not matter how good it sounds. It does not matter who is offering it. If it does not serve your strategy, it is a distraction. And distractions are silent assassins. They do not kill you quickly. They kill you slowly, one yes at a time, until you look up and realize you have built someone else's dream while neglecting your own. Machiavelli advised princes to be flexible, to adapt, but never to lose sight of their ultimate objective. Your ultimate objective is not to be liked. It is not to be understood. It is to win. And winning requires clarity, focus, and the courage to walk away from anything that dilutes your power. Here is what focusing on yourself looks like in practice. You wake up before the world does. You move in silence while others are still asleep. You train your body because physical strength builds mental resilience. You read because knowledge is leverage. You create because creation is ownership. You reflect because self-awareness is the foundation of strategy. And you do this every single day, not because you feel like it, but because you decided that your future self deserves a warrior, not a victim. The Machiavellian strategist does not rely on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. He relies on systems. He builds routines that remove decision fatigue. He automates discipline so that progress becomes inevitable. You do not wait for inspiration. You create conditions where excellence is the only option. Now let us talk about the people who will try to stop you, not overtly. They will not say, "I do not want you to succeed." They will say, "You are changing." They will say, "You are not the same person anymore." They will say, "Remember when you used to have time for us." These are guilt trips disguised as concern, and they are tests of your resolve, tests of your commitment, tests of whether you will sacrifice your future to preserve their comfort. Machiavelli wrote that the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Loyalty has its place, but not when it costs you your destiny. You do not owe anyone stagnation. You do not owe anyone a smaller version of yourself. If they cannot celebrate your growth, they do not deserve access to your journey. Remove them, not with anger, not with drama, with indifference. Indifference is the ultimate dismissal. It says, "You are no longer relevant to my mission." And when you operate from that place, you become untouchable. Here is the part most people miss. Focusing on yourself is not a phase, it is a lifestyle. It is not something you do for 6 months and then return to old patterns. It is a permanent recalibration of how you move through the world. You become someone who guards his time like a fortress, someone who invests his energy like capital, someone who moves with intention, not impulse. This is not about becoming a hermit. It is about becoming selective. You still engage with people, but only those who add value. You still enjoy life, but only in ways that do not derail your progress. You still have fun, but never at the expense of your future. The Machiavellian mind does not reject pleasure. It schedules it. It controls it. It ensures that indulgence never becomes sabotage. Let me tell you what happens on the other side of this transformation. You become magnetic. Not because you are trying to attract attention, but because you are no longer chasing it. People sense when someone is complete within themselves. They sense when someone does not need validation, and that self-sufficiency is intoxicating. Opportunities start appearing, not because you are lucky, but because you are ready. You have built the skills, the discipline, the reputation, and when the moment comes, you do not hesitate, you execute. This is the Machiavellian advantage. While others are still preparing, still doubting, still seeking permission, you have already moved. And by the time they realize what happened, you are 3 steps ahead, untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. But let me be clear. This path is not easy. It is lonely. It is misunderstood. It is filled with moments where you will question whether it is worth it. You will see others enjoying comfort while you are grinding in obscurity. You will watch people celebrate milestones you have not reached yet. You will feel the weight of delayed gratification pressing on your chest. And in those moments, you will have a choice: quit or continue. Return to mediocrity or push into mastery. The weak choose comfort, the strong choose consequence, and consequence is the price of greatness. Machiavelli himself was tortured, exiled, and died without seeing his work celebrated. But his ideas outlasted kings. His strategies shaped empires. His name became synonymous with power because he understood that legacy is not built in comfort. It is built in the crucible of relentless focus and unshakable resolve. So here is your assignment, and I need you to take this seriously because this is not just another challenge or trendy experiment. This is a complete restructuring of how you operate in the world. For the next 30 days, you are going to live like a ghost. You are going to disappear from the noise, from the chaos, from the constant need to be seen and validated. No social media, and I mean none. Not just limiting it or checking it once a day. I mean complete deletion of the apps from your phone. No scrolling through Instagram at midnight. No checking how many likes your post got. No comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. No unnecessary conversations. This means no gossip sessions that drain your energy. No venting circles where everyone complains but nobody changes. No surface-level interactions that leave you feeling emptier than before. No distractions. No binge-watching shows you do not even care about. No falling down rabbit holes of content that you will not remember tomorrow. No saying yes to things that do not align with your highest vision, simply because you are afraid of disappointing people who are not even invested in your success. You are going to wake up every single morning with one question burning in your mind. What is the most important thing I can do today? Not the most urgent thing, not the thing that will make other people happy, not the thing that feels easiest or most comfortable. The most important thing, the thing that will move you closer to the person you are destined to become, the thing that your future self will thank you for, the thing that actually builds the empire you are meant to rule. And you are going to do that thing first, not second, not after you warm up with easier tasks, not after you check your phone and get pulled into everyone else's agenda. First, before emails that can wait, before messages that are rarely as urgent as they seem, before anything else, before the world has a chance to impose its priorities on you, before your energy gets diluted by 1,000 small demands, before your focus gets fragmented by notifications and requests and the endless noise that passes for communication in this distracted age. You are going to protect your morning like it is sacred, because it absolutely is. The first hours of your day are not just time. They are the foundation upon which everything else is built. They determine the trajectory of your entire life. Show me someone's morning routine and I will show you their future. The way you start your day is the way you live your life. If you start it reactive, scrolling, distracted, giving your attention away to whoever screams loudest, then that is exactly how your life will unfold. Reactive, scattered, controlled by external forces. But if you start your day with intention, with focus, with a clear understanding of what matters most, then you set a tone that ripples through every hour that follows. You are going to train your body, not because you want to look a certain way for other people, but because your body is the vehicle through which you experience life and build your empire. A weak body creates a weak mind. A disciplined body creates a disciplined mind. When you push your body beyond what is comfortable, you teach yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. You build resilience. You build mental toughness. You build the kind of strength that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. You are going to feed your mind, not with junk content, not with gossip and drama and fear-based news cycles, but with wisdom, with strategy, with the thoughts and teachings of those who have already walked the path you are trying to walk. You are going to read. You are going to study. You are going to consume content that challenges you, that expands you, that makes you think deeper and see further. You are going to work on your craft. Whatever it is that you are building, whatever skill you are developing, whatever empire you are creating, you are going to work on it with the focus of a master craftsman. Not casually. Not when you feel inspired, every single day, with precision, with intention, with the understanding that mastery is not a destination but a daily commitment. And you are going to do all of this in silence. No updates about your progress. No posts documenting your journey. No announcements about what you are building. Just execution. Pure, focused, relentless execution. Because the people who talk about what they are going to do rarely do it. The people who are actually doing it do not have time to talk about it. They are too busy building. At the end of 30 days, you will not recognize yourself. This is not an exaggeration. This is a promise. Your energy will be different. It will be more magnetic, more powerful, more grounded. People will feel it when you walk into a room, even though they will not be able to explain what changed. Your clarity will be sharper. The fog that has been clouding your vision will lift. You will see opportunities you could not see before. You will understand connections you missed. You will have a level of mental precision that cuts through confusion like a blade. Your confidence will be unshakable. Not the fake confidence that comes from external validation, but the real confidence that comes from self-knowledge. The confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. The confidence that comes from proving to yourself day after day that you are capable of discipline. And discipline is the gateway to everything you want. Every single thing you desire in life, whether it is wealth, love, respect, freedom, impact, legacy, all of it sits on the other side of discipline. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is the creator of it. The disciplined person has more freedom than the undisciplined person could ever imagine because they have mastered themselves. And when you master yourself, the world bends to your will. Now let me address the fear, because I know it is there. I can feel it in the resistance you are experiencing right now as you read these words. You are afraid that if you focus on yourself, if you disappear from social media, if you stop being constantly available and visible, you will miss out. You will miss events that everyone will be talking about. You will miss trends that might be important. You will miss moments that seem significant in the present. Let me tell you what you are actually missing while You are busy chasing these illusions. You are missing the life you were meant to build, the life that exists beyond the screen, beyond the validation, beyond the temporary dopamine hits of likes and comments and shares. You are missing the person you were meant to become, the version of you that is stronger, wiser, more capable, more powerful than you can currently imagine. That person is waiting for you to make the choice to become them. You are missing the empire you were meant to rule. Whether that empire is a business, a family, a community, a movement, or all of the above, it will not build itself while you are distracted. Because you are too busy being present in spaces that do not matter, spaces that will not remember you, spaces that do not contribute to your growth, spaces that extract your energy without giving anything meaningful in return. Machiavelli said that the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Read that again. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. The fool realizes too late that he wasted his prime on distractions. He wasted his energy, his youth, his potential on things that did not matter. He finally wakes up at 40 or 50 or 60 and realizes that he could have built something magnificent if only he had focused. If only he had been more disciplined. If only he had protected his time and energy. But by then, decades have been lost. The wise man realizes now and acts immediately. He does not wait for a wake-up call. He does not need a crisis to shake him into awareness. He sees the truth clearly and acts on it without delay. Which one are you? And I am asking you this directly, personally, because this is the most important question you will answer today. Are you the fool who waits for permission, for the perfect moment, for all the circumstances to align before you start building your life? Are you the fool who waits for everything to be perfect, not understanding that perfection is a moving target that you will never reach? Or are you the strategist who understands that the right moment is now, and perfection is a myth designed to keep you paralyzed? The strategist knows that action creates clarity, that you do not think your way into a new life, you act your way into it. That waiting for perfect conditions is just another form of procrastination dressed up as prudence. Here is the ultimate Machiavellian truth, and this might be hard to hear, but you need to hear it. The world is not fair. It never has been and it never will be. It is not designed to reward the hardest worker or the kindest soul. If hard work alone created success, every person working 3 jobs to survive would be a millionaire. If kindness alone created power, every generous person would be ruling the world. But that is not how it works. The world rewards the most strategic, the ones who understand how systems work and how to navigate them, the most focused, the ones who can ignore 1,000 distractions and keep their eyes on the target, the most disciplined, the ones who can do what needs to be done even when they do not feel like it, even when it is hard, even when nobody is watching, the ones who understand that power is not given, it is taken. Not through force, not through manipulation, not through stepping on others, but through relentless, focused execution, through becoming so good at what you do that the world has no choice but to recognize you. You do not ask for opportunities, you create them, you build them, you engineer situations where opportunities have no choice but to appear. You do not wait for respect, you command it through your presence, your competence, your consistency. You do not hope for success, you engineer it. You reverse engineer the outcome you want and then you execute the steps with precision. And it all starts with one decision, a single decision that changes everything. The decision to stop wasting your life on things that do not matter and start building a life that does. The decision to stop being a consumer and become a creator. The decision to stop being passive and become active. The decision to stop being a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your destiny. Comment this right now, I choose myself. Type those 3 words, say them out loud, feel them in your body. I choose myself. Not in a selfish way, not in a way that disregards others, but in a way that acknowledges that you cannot pour from an empty cup, that you cannot help others if you have not helped yourself first, that choosing yourself is not arrogance, it is responsibility. Say it, mean it, live it, because the moment you make that choice, everything changes, and I mean everything. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the architect. You stop sitting in the back seat letting circumstances drive you wherever they want to take you. You grab the wheel, you decide the destination. You choose the route. You stop reacting to the world and start designing it. You stop waking up and asking what is going to happen to me today and start asking what am I going to make happen today. You stop being shaped by circumstances and start shaping them. You stop being a leaf blown by the wind and become the wind itself. This is not arrogance. This is strategy. This is understanding how power actually works in the real world. And strategy is the only language the world respects. The world does not respect good intentions. It does not respect potential. It does not respect what you could have done or might do someday. It respects results. It respects execution. It respects people who say they are going to do something and then actually do it. Machiavelli spent his life studying power, not because he was evil, not because he was cruel, but because he was realistic. He understood that the world is a battlefield, not literally, not always, but metaphorically. It is competitive, it is challenging, it demands strength, and on a battlefield the naive die first. The ones who believe that good intentions are enough, the ones who trust blindly, the ones who refuse to see the world as it actually is. The hesitant die second, the ones who see what needs to be done but cannot bring themselves to do it. The ones who overthink, who second guess, who wait for more information, more confirmation, more certainty. The distracted die third, the ones who have the capability and the courage but cannot maintain focus long enough to see anything through to completion. But the focused, the disciplined, the strategic, they survive, they thrive, they conquer, and then they write the rules for everyone else. They become the standard, they become the example, they become the ones that others study and try to emulate. You have a choice right now in this moment. You can keep living the way you have been, scattered, distracted, reactive, letting life happen to you instead of making life happen for you. Or you can make the decision right now to focus on yourself with the intensity of a predator stalking prey, with singular focus, with patient persistence, with the understanding that the hunt might be long, but the outcome is inevitable if you do not give up. To guard your time like a king guards his throne, because your time is your kingdom. It is the only resource you cannot get more of. Every moment you give away carelessly is a piece of your kingdom you will never reclaim. To invest your energy like a general deploys his troops, strategically, intentionally, only in battles that matter, only in ways that move you toward victory, to move through the world with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that victory is not a question of if, but when. Not arrogant, not boastful, just certain. Certain because you have done the work, certain because you trust yourself, certain because you have built a foundation that cannot be shaken. The clock is ticking, right now, as you read these words. Time is passing. Every day you delay is a day your competition gets ahead. And your competition is not other people. Your competition is the person you could become if you actually committed. Every hour you waste is an hour you will never get back. You cannot save time. You cannot store it. You can only spend it. The question is whether you are spending it on things that build or things that distract. Every moment you spend on distractions is a moment stolen from your destiny, from the life you are meant to live, from the impact you are meant to make, from the legacy you are meant to leave. Machiavelli did not write for the masses. He did not write self-help books for everyone. He wrote for princes, for rulers, for those who understood that power is not a birthright. It is a discipline. It is something you build through daily choices, through sacrifice, through focus. And if you have read this far, you are not part of the masses. Most people would have clicked away minutes ago. Most people do not have the attention span or the hunger to consume something this deep, this challenging, this demanding. But you are still here, which means you are part of the few, the ones who are willing to do what others will not. The ones who are willing to wake up early, stay up late, sacrifice comfort, delay gratification, do the hard things. The ones who are willing to sacrifice what others cannot, the temporary pleasures, the easy distractions, the comfortable mediocrity. The ones who are willing to focus when others are distracted, to build when others are celebrating, to endure when others are quitting, to keep going when every fiber of your being wants to stop. This is your moment. Not tomorrow when you feel more ready. Not next week when things calm down. Not when things are perfect because they never will be. Now, right now, in this moment, you have everything you need. You do not need more information. You do not need more resources. You do not need more time. You have time. 24 hours a day just like everyone else. You have energy, more than you realize, more than you are currently using. You have potential. Unlimited potential waiting to be unlocked. What you lack is focus. And focus is a choice, not a personality trait, not something you are born with or without. A choice you make every single morning when you wake up. A choice between hitting snooze or getting up, between scrolling or creating, between drifting or directing. A A choice you make every single moment when distraction calls, when the notification pings, when the easy option presents itself. When comfort tempts you, a choice you make every single day when comfort tempts you to stay small, to play it safe, to not risk failure or judgment or discomfort. The Machiavellian strategist makes the hard choice. Always. Not sometimes, not when he feels like it. Always. Because he knows that hard choices create easy lives and easy choices create hard lives. The hard choice now creates the easy life later. The easy choice now creates the hard life later. Which do you choose? So I will ask you one final time. Are you ready to focus on yourself? Are you ready to stop wasting your life? Are you ready to become the strategist, the architect, the ruler of your own destiny? If the answer is yes, then prove it. Not with words, with action. Close this video and go build. Go execute, go dominate. Because the world is waiting for you to claim what is yours, and it will not wait forever.